All right, recording is live. And so we will begin with the retelling. There is going to be a little bit of cleanup that I need to do with things that had happened the previous day at the end of the day. I've come up with some things that I think will help get everybody's character lined up the way they want them to be. But first off, Ed, having missed a session, we'd like to get a retelling of what you had done the previous session, the one that you did not miss, so that we can bring you up to speed.
It's a long time ago. So what was the last session that we did? The last session that we did that I was in was around setting up the LLC, I guess. Is that right?
Oh, you know what? The session that I thought you missed, we actually didn't meet that day. We decided not to do it. You're right. So actually, it's Jackie is the only one who has a session missed.
Yep, and I'm gonna need a refresher. My life feels like it has been a whirlwind the past couple of weeks, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What do you remember from the last session you did attend?
We went to school. We tried to get some bullies reprimanded for being not cool. We got books. We handled that. That was before we attended the schools. We got some nice books. Almost none of us can do magic because we are but little sproutlings.
For now.
For now. Oh yeah, we went to we got some street food or got some we went to a street vendor to get the vinegar that we needed to help the goblin who was being bullied.
Actually, more of a family restaurant.
Family restaurant.
Yeah. They serve ethnic skull food.
Yep.
Alrighty. A few things have happened since then. In the following day, of course, the non-adventurers got to go do some stuff, but you had Bax at the Crimson Academy for that first day. The Crimson Academy has some special rules about earning merits while you're there, which means you get to make some rolls.
Cool.
I'm going to pull it up here. So, the only thing that was available to you on your first day was the obstacle course fitness drills. But at the completion of that, you get to make 3 rolls. A vigor plus labor, an agility plus athletics, and a perception plus acrobatics roll. If any of these rolls result in 3 successes or more, then you earn a merit. And you can earn up to 3 merits, as each roll can earn you a merit.
I don't have points in certain skills, so we will hope for my aptitudes are unlikely to get me successes, but I will still roll.
So the first one is vigor plus labor. All right, second one is agility plus athletics. Ooh, close. That one could have gotten it. And the last one is perception plus acrobatics.
Axe is also but a sproutling.
All right. Well, the obstacle course fitness drills give you the option to train your acrobatics, athletics, labor, and medicine, because people get hurt on it occasionally. It also has various talents that are available, as you will see in the Celebran Guild Crimson Academy sheet, which is available in the shared drive. Additionally, agility, perception, and vigor can all be trained here as well, as can any astute, athletic, executive, or martial potentials.
Awesome. I'm gonna go for martial potentials for sure with this character.
I thought so.
Because we are great heroes.
Great heroes. Okay, with that done, and of course you can spend experience there, but you also get to do the next day.
All right, so I can spend EXP, right, like in between that.
If you want to, or you can wait the next day, because you also earn an experience point for that, and you also earn a character point for your retelling. So Leica would get a character point, and then both Bax and Trompy would get an experience point. That was the day that you did. You were there for that day. And then there's the day that you missed. So then on the day that you missed, they can either go to school or do chores. And then we'll find out what everybody else did on the day that you missed as well.
Okay. Probably for all my characters, I'm going to choose. Well, I can only earn experience by going to school, right?
Correct.
I will do that then.
All right. Will Bax be continuing at the Crimson Academy?
Yes. And like at Magic School and Trompy, I would really like to know: is there a Celebran library in any kind of official capacity?
There are public libraries.
Public library,
yeah.
but is there like the main one?
But the best library is actually in the university, and that library actually has the ability to train you in stuff while you're there.
See, I should have asked that because that's the direction I would have preferred to go with for Trompy, I think, because that's kind of the vibe I was going for.
All right. So if Trompy is working for the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild, they have a thing about that in their sheet here. Let me bring it up. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe I imagined it and didn't actually write it down. So the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild has a relationship with the university. So members of the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild can go to the university library. You get a day pass. You don't get to train in magic there. You can't attend classes, but you can spend your day at the library studying.
Nice. Would that be considered?
Yes, that is considered school.
Awesome. And so in that case, I can earn an additional experience point, because I just gave one to Vax and Trumpy. And
yes, so the ones that you just gave them should have been for day 14, and now on day 15 they get an additional one.
Excellent, okay.
As does Leica, for going to the university. And Bax gets to make those rolls again. We can just focus on the roll that's possible, unless you have spent the experience in the meantime to make one of the other rolls possible.
Bax has a lot of points banked right now, so I might be interested in doing that.
Okay. So the Crimson Academy is particularly interested in new recruits being physically fit. So the obstacle course fitness drills are the only thing that's available with when you haven't earned any merits. That's the starting point you earn merits at, and generally even the most expert swordsmen keep going back to that to keep themselves in shape.
I think I'm going to boost my labor here real quick. Because realistically, Bax has been a fucking workhorse. She has been running around for like months doing errands and shit. She should be good at hauling ass and working hard.
I'm not surprised that your agility plus athletics roll was the highest of your rolls from exactly that reason.
Yeah. So let's see. So I need things like the skills that I need are acrobatics, labor, and athletics, right?
Yes. Those form the foundation of martial training. Actually using a sword is considered to be a higher form of training, but you need the fundamentals of being able to run to get to the fight before you are expected to fight.
All right, and with a point in medicine, I have spent all my points.
Cool.
I'm now much stronger.
I like that you've got a little bit of medicine. That's excellent. So...
I probably got... I mean, imagining back, she probably got fucked up on day one. She's like, okay, I'm going to patch myself up real quick. Get ready for the next drill.
Yeah, and among the talents there, field medic is one of the talents that they can train, and first aid. Those are, yeah.
But I have recovered a composure at this point from resting.
Well, you would have rested, so you could have moved the composure into your stamina and then recovered that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. At every day you recover 2 tacks when you sleep.
Just making sure my sheet's all
yeah.
for today.
The mansion you're staying in is unfurnished, so there's not a lot of... It's not super comfy.
Not great, but it works, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I am ready to try and crush.
All right, go for it. Do you want to do all 3 rolls?
I will gladly do all 3 rolls.
First one is Vigor plus Labor.
Not quite.
Oof, not quite. Lots of dice there, though. It's a very Faith Enoch thing to approach something, be bad at it on the first try, come back at it, and kick its ass. So that makes a lot of sense. Second roll is Agility plus Athletics. Crushed it. So you have earned a fitness merit, and then the final roll is Perception plus Acrobatics.
Nope. Not this time.
Not this time. But because you have a fitness merit, basic drills are now available to you. So for the next day, you'll have access to the... Oops. There we go. You'll have access to the basic sword, basic shield, or basic squad drills. It does cost a merit, so you'll be spending your merit if you want to take one of those drills to learn their stuff.
Might be better to bank a few merits before.
Could be, yeah. One of the interesting things, though, is that the sword drills have a similar merit test that earns sword merits, as opposed to fitness merits. So you can convert your fitness merits into sword merits, or shield merits, or squad merits. Each of those creates sort of a different line of access to training and skills. With sword and shield teaching you how to use those 2 things respectively, whereas squad teaches you how to work as a unit, goes down the leadership task, and then splits into becoming like a battlefield tactician, or becoming like a street policing officer. Alrighty, with that taken care of, and whatever training you wanted Leica and Trumpy to do in their respective areas as well, we now move on to everybody else giving the retelling of the session you missed. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's best if Araxi starts this off. So we decided that we were going to check in on all of our towns, friends. who made the trip with us. They are all at refugee camp, um, needing to get basic housing and stuff. And we had the brilliant idea for the whole community to come together and form a rebuilding Oakbride Village fund or whatever. I don't remember what we called it. Um, and Araxi was very excited about this because the whole community is going to come together, work together, and open up an inn for Grammy with like a smithy attached. And everybody was going to have a role in this, and they were going to be able to have a place inside the city to sleep and food and hopefully make quite a bit of money during it. And
A
Old Man
little,
Pencil was so generous to help us out with all of this and getting the approved permissions.
so like a little oak brine in Celebrate.
Basically.
Indeed, and there is now, as a new option for chores, starting from this session, going to work on building Little Oak Brine.
Yeah. With I forget. Me and another character, we went to the thieves guild, and we found out that there was a profession of groups of people that use the same tools as a smithy that would be sort of abandoned or like easy to get, which was the jewel crafters. I think you said.
Yep.
And we also found out that there was a cold spot that we could be able to keep up all our stuff cold and stuff nearby where we found a local jewel place. So then we can keep all our stuff cold while we build up this whole place. And Glock was so good at helpful with it that Glock was made vice president of the fundings. Painful, of course, is the president.
That's right. And that cold spot that he mentioned is not exactly a spot. It covers several city blocks. It's a very wide area where fires don't light and the temperature is perpetually cold even in summer.
I'll jump in. I was the character that Glup went to the Thieves Guild with and basically just used my prior relationships there from having worked at the Thieves Guild and the Records Department to kind of grease the wheels and get them to give us the information on the suitable locations for a blacksmith. That was Henri, by the way. And I think that was about it on my end.
Alrighty. Troy, did you want to go?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting distracted by weird Discord pop-ups. These are new and strange. Let's see. Mina was the one doing it, or the one went along last time. She met with the miller, who was in a much nicer area and had a much nicer setup, as we learned, and wasn't actually with the rest of the people because the miller's rich, rolling in it. But that resulted in the miller wanting to invest in Willica, but Willica saw the value in like having an area near that cold storage we brought up. She's an herbalist, but like an alchemist also, right? Like as a dual occupation kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she saw the value in having that cold storage space for her work, and so they obviously investment in that direction worked out.
We're going to get to a special thing with Mina on the way home at night, but first I want to give Ed a chance to also give his retelling.
So my main responsibility was to make sure that no one takes extreme control over the new LLC. And so I think I managed to do that relatively successfully. And Yeah, and then also kind of working with the Rights and Properties Guild to oversee the definitions and setup of the new little Oak Brine conservation group.
And the overall plan, as I recall, of Little Oak Brine was to create a location to basically outfit adventurers and mercenaries who want to go contribute to the Apthian War. So it has a smithy to make them armor and weapons. It has food suppliers to get them rations and things. And it has a potion maker to make them the healing potions they're going to need in the course of whatever they're off to do. Those are the main financial needs you guys uncovered that the city has, and and that's what it is being built to do. So, the Oak Brine Village has been added to the Residence and Services for Celebre. Little Oak Brine, I'm sorry. Little Oak Brine. It's currently at 0 out of 100 progress towards being constructed. Every day, the carpenter and the blacksmith are going to use the talent Rome wasn't built in a day to contribute a total of 10 successes towards that. So even if you guys do nothing, it'll be built in 10 days. But if you want to contribute to it, anyone can choose this as their chore. There's no learning done here. It's just chores. Except that you can spend experience points to learn crafting, engineering, labor, and a bunch of different talents related to construction. And then you roll your Vigor plus Labor check to contribute to making it build faster. As a special thing, anyone who chooses this as their chores during the first 50 points of progress, so before it reaches 51 points, you can also make a resources check to look for treasure in the ruins of the buildings that you're building on top of.
Like we get to do that for free?
Yeah. Get to dig around in the debris and see if you can find treasures from the previous buildings. Once it hits 51, the rubble's going to be cleared away entirely, and it's just going to be a building project. When the building project completes, additional story opportunities, quests, and even training and chores will be available at the new Oak Brine, based on what the original Oak Brine had available to it. You guys did manage to transport all of the NPCs, so all of those potential services will be here in some new variation. For example, the sheriff won't really be a sheriff anymore. He's a bouncer, but it still serves a similar purpose. So all that stuff will be around. All right. Rewinding back to Mina. So, that night, when you got home from your adventure, Miss Maybell comes up to you and says, there's someone here to see you. And they take you out front where the miller is there with Lowendow, and someone else you've seen Lowendow hanging out with when you spent your day trying to learn fishing. It's one of the other captains, and they have something that they'd like to show you if you're willing to come with them for a little bit. Miss Maybell knows Lowendow and knows the miller, and so is fine with you having a little evening stroll with them to go see whatever this special thing is, if you're into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Excellent.
Yeah, of course.
So the captain introduces herself as Catherine Ironhook. She's the captain of the Harbor Patrol. And they take you not actually down to the harbor, but to a public park. And it turns out that there is a statue in the public park that has a secret entrance. As they pull on a little hidden lever, it opens up a secret entrance, and they go down. There are guards posted inside the secret entrance, and they take you down to an underground harbor hidden under the city, where they are constructing boats. This is a shipyard. The boats that are constructed look more military in nature than the stuff you see in the actual harbor. And it is, to your eyes, fascinating engineering achievements that are being done. They're using things very similar to what the miller used, but on a scaled up to lift boats out of the water and perform all kinds of work on them. And they say, if you're interested in using your talents, and the miller has told me that you have exceptional engineering skill, you could come here and work instead of going to the fishing school. This could be your apprenticeship program down here. You'd have to keep it a secret, and in fact, I still expect you to keep a secret even if you say no. But this is a place where you can learn how to build ships and learn all the engineering involved in that. But there is one thing I want to warn you about, and I'm very serious about this. If you don't love the sea, I don't want you down here. Because if you build a boat without loving the sea, then the boat is going to tell the sea a bad message from you, and bad things will happen to the people that ride in it. So if you don't love the sea, tell me now. You can go back to one of the other schools or whatever it is you want to do. What is your answer?
I mean, Sherry jumps up and down and says, I love the sea. I love the sea.
I'm sorry, Sherry. This was for Mina.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
If Sherry's at earshot, she starts shouting anyway.
Would Sherry have... Well, I don't know. So this was something that they took Mina outside and went on a walk to talk about this. Do you want Sherry to have followed them, or...?
No, she's just wandering around talking to other people. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I'm supposed to keep this a secret and they didn't check for people following us, I would be very intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, they went through a secret entrance, and it was guarded, so I don't... Yeah. We could rewind if you wanted Sherry to be part of that, but this is specific to engineering students. And Mina, you had expressed to the miller that you were not having fun on the boats, but the miller knew about your skills, and so went and had a talk with Lowendal, who went and had a talk with Captain Ironhook. So they're offering you this opportunity. If you don't love the sea, then there's also opportunities at the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild and at the Thieves Guild that could be pursued for this character. This is the ocean relationship with engineering.
Trying to decide if her almost drowning thing made her hate the sea or want to, defeat the sea.
It's your call. I'll come back to you in just a moment while you think about it. Whompi! Given your success with talking with Sappers, Miss Maybell has a suggestion for tomorrow, or for any day in which you want to do it. Instead of sitting and meditating with Sappers in the garden here at the orphanage, she thinks it might be good for Sappers to go out to the various public parks and grow roots in the soil at the public parks around the city, of which there are several. This would constitute as a form of school, and I have created a very, very limited selection of things that Sappers can teach you in relationship to druidic magic.
Alright.
Those are in a new document called Private Tutors. Which will be growing as I get the other NPCs in here, but for the moment, the one that I think was most urgently needed was to have Sappers available for Whompi for druidic training.
Alright, yeah. That something to get that started, at least.
Yeah.
It's very appreciative.
Sappers is not able to teach esoteric improvisation. Sappers essentially knows 3 spells, and that's it. That's all Sappers knows. Sappers doesn't know how to invent new spells, but Sappers can teach you those spells and can teach you esoteric discipline, which will let you turn those spells into talents and cast them at reduced cost.
Alright. That's something to work on. With Whompi. Because right now Whompi's kind of just running around as a chaos child. With no direction or order.
Yeah. And this is not necessarily less of a wandering child version. You're basically just going to the public parks, planting the staff in there so it can grow roots, and then meditating. So you're still kind of a wild child in that respect. But yeah, that is available as a path if Whompi wants to take that path.
Well, then Whompi could go around with druid stuff and maybe actually demonstrate druidic magic to a druid who can...
Right.
Who's like, okay, I will help you become a... I use this with heavy air quotes, dragon.
Yeah, and Sappers can't teach you to shapeshift. There's lots of things Sappers can't teach that a full druid can, but Sappers can get you on that road, so you've got somewhere to put your experience points that is progress towards that end. Yeah. And, I mean, these are the 3 spells that Sappers was using with Miss Maybell to basically fake her having moon owl powers. Alrighty, back to you, Troy. Have you made a decision?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think she'll say something along the lines of, like, among my few experiences, the sea has tried to kill me. And that didn't stop me from going back to it and seeing an impressive design pull the salt from it. So I can say I am drawn to the sea, and I do enjoy it.
Okay, so Captain Ironhook says, all right, well, we will prepare a syllabus and have teachers available for you to come here and learn about shipbuilding. They're not ready yet. This is sort of a new thing that was sprung on them by the miller. So they would like you to continue learning about basic fishing stuff, at least for one day. But they'll have things ready for you soon.
That sounds excellent.
Lowendow is smiling ear to ear. He's super happy that one of the kids from his hometown is going to be a shipmaker, which is a rather esteemed position among sailors, as they can't do their thing without boats, and not a lot of people know how to make new ones. All right then, everyone who was participated in the mischief, they gain a character point. Everyone who went to school gains an experience point. And I don't think anybody did chores.
So, question about Whompi. You had me put it down as rest for talking to Sappers. Do we want to record that to
School, yes.
school?
And you may spend experience points on the things that are there.
Fortunately, I don't have any right now, but...
Well, you've got 1, right?
Oh,
going to school.
2, but... It's not enough to get me my talent.
I was considering a talent for Francis called animation, I believe is what it's called.
Ah, yes, necromancy. Okay.
But I noticed it's not one of the talents under like the Celebrian Arcane University. So I'm not sure like if I can just buy it outright or.
So, the Sleeping Arcane University does not... While they do teach some necromancy spells, they don't teach animation. This is mostly so that the townsfolk don't torch and pitchfork them. But that doesn't mean that it's not available. If you would like to research that, you can research stuff at the library, but also there are other ways. So the Celebran University has a relationship with the nation of Anar, and Anar does do animation. So yeah, there's a way for you to make that connection if that's the path you want to go, and we can work on getting you a private tutor.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that path. That sounds cool.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to bring up the adventure opportunities, and I'm going to add in another opportunity here, which is more magic. More Magic is an adventure within the university in which you go looking for access to more things, like animation, and there's some other stuff in there too. If you guys don't end up doing that adventure, then you can do the research on your own, and that would be done in the library, and we can talk about that as well. Do you meet the prerequisites for animation yet?
I'm not sure. How do I tell what the prerequisites are? I am looking at right now in the...
Mm-hmm.
It's in the part where there's like that green three-leaf green thing. It says animation beside it. It says 1 day deal potential and 5 medicine.
Okay. So I assume that my 1 potential is covered. Is that via the potential that I have? Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So the other thing you need is a 5 in medicine. I think is it? Yeah, it's a 5 in medicine. What is the current medicine rank?
Okay, I am going to need to level that up. Okay, so I actually don't have enough XP for all of that right now, so first I'll focus on the medicine prereq, and then later on I'll deal with getting the actual...
I'm pretty sure that the library can train in medicine. I think I added that in. I think the library teaches almost everything.
Don't worry,
Oh,
you're gonna be all right. I read it in a book.
There we go. It does now.
Excellent.
Going forward, when we put in what you're doing for the day, I would like to, just for record keeping, add in which class, because the university and all the various other places too have different classes that have access to different stuff. And it would just kind of be neat for me to be able to look back and see which classes you attended. Did anyone who was attending class this previous day at the university take an exam to unlock additional classes?
I think Nest was going to because I could theoretically do so. There was nothing else I could do.
Okay.
But I have to look up what the class was because it's been so long.
So in this case, what can Trumpy do? Because I know I'm part of the Applied Thaumaturge Guild, but if I can do... Am I only allowed in the library, or can I do stuff at the university?
You're allowed in the library and in the artifact identification class. Those are the two that they've purchased you access to. The artifact identification class does require that you bring a magic item with you. So you don't actually have access to that yet because you don't have a magic item. But once you have one, that will be available to you. But the other place is the library. Yeah.
I see. Okay. What sort of skills can I level up at the library?
Engineering, investigation, labor, medicine, persuasion, and scholarship, along with an impressive list of talents, such as bullshit artist and Dr. Watson, I presume.
Ness is going to do a test 104, underlying principles of aetheric manipulation, solely because I could theoretically pass this test with a good roll.
Okay. And that leads to esoteric improvisation, which can let you bypass needing to like have a spell book altogether. That is potentially a very powerful. Oh,
Did not pass.
Did not pass. But good effort. You still earn an experience for the day.
Yeah, I was thinking about for Elros to do 110, but he doesn't actually have any physical materials to make an item, though.
Well, you can acquire some physical materials with a simple resource check.
All right.
You can also buy things at the market.
Yeah, looking at my thing, I think, yeah, Elros is currently broke. And still broke.
Still broke and unable to find anything. At least anything that would be usable for the day. There is the option, of course, for you to, instead of going to school, you can go do some work for one of the guilds and earn some money. But school earns you experience points, so, yeah. Was anybody else taking any classes?
Let me see.
All right.
What? So Chompy can just study, I guess. But I can't. I literally can't go to any of the classes basically as Chompy. I guess so. In this case, Bax already did her athletics shit at the Crimson Academy, and so that just leaves Leica. Yeah, that just leaves Leica.
Is Leica going to try to pass any tests or just spend experience points?
I only have a single experience point, so
Might be good to try and test into some of the more advanced classes then.
let me see. I have an arcane potential of 1, and that's. I have no scholarship ability. I'd be probably just rolling my aptitude most likely.
Okay. It can be something to work towards. You don't have to get access to everything right now.
Yeah, no,
you
that's
can get your
I
experience
think
and move on, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. I don't think I'll test, or I'll test but fail. You know?
For those of you attending the Thieves Guild, have any of you chosen, and I know we didn't have access to it yet, but you may have noticed the Thieves Guild has Thieves' Dens. Has any of you chosen a Thieves' Den you'd like to attend?
Gluck would like to join the Wolf Den.
Okay.
Because I see he has stuff like Scapegoat, which I might need for later time.
Alright, if you read the description of the Wolf's Den, no one knows where the recruitment office is. It seems like, it must exist because they're advertised as something you can join. But you might need to find them first. Perhaps that's the first test.
I mean, so Mari would like to craft an item for the crafting workshop.
Is Mari working for... Oh, Mari... yeah. Okay. Okay.
She'll try and craft a pair of finger symbols.
Cool. What materials do you have?
I mean, I don't have any materials.
Cool. Make a resource check and see if you can find some.
Okay, it's gonna be rough. I do not find any material.
You've not been able to find any materials. There might be something usable that you could get if you dug around in the ruined buildings by helping out the carpentry.
I mean, I can craft it from my pocket money.
Oh my god,
yeah,
that's what
you can do that. You can use your pocket money to buy materials. Absolutely.
Can I just melt down my pocket money and use it as the metal for the symbol?
Broadly, that is frowned upon societally, but there is nothing physically preventing it.
If I melted down my pocket money, what would be the quality of the materials I get back? It's just raw copper, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would say you'd probably get one quality for every 5, I guess? Each one's a pip, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll spend my pocket money to buy just a chunk of the cheapest metal I can find.
Okay, so you rolled a 2, so if you spend 3, that would get you... No, I'm sorry, you need to spend 4 to get up to a success.
Oh, I see.
And that would get
Quite
you
have.
quality 1 metal to work with.
Don't quite have enough.
I think I would actually like very much for Trompy to help with the building process because I want to get a crack at getting a magic item to take to class.
I can help craft it if you can help me get some metal.
Teamwork is an option.
I do have a point of resources I can roll for you.
Are we doing like our setup for like where people are going? Is this part of that, or is this the night before?
This is the day before the characters that were not part of the adventure. So characters that were part of the adventure cannot be participating in this, but characters that were can try and get their stuff from school.
So in this case, Bax would not be able to help with like building the little oak brine.
Well, Bax was not at the previous adventure, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so that's fine. If Bax can
hell
help
yeah.
between push-ups and pull-ups at the academy.
I lay my 3 pocket money out on the table and say, "This is what I've got."
If somebody can contribute just 1 more piece of pocket money, you have enough to buy some just basic copper.
Trompy will immediately contribute a pocket money.
There you go.
Right, so I just need a focus plus crafting check.
Yep. And you get a pip from your piece of quality 1 copper. And Tice, to answer your question about the staff, yes. You'd have to pry it out of Whompi's cold dead hands at this point, I think, but yes.
And Whompi has a hammer.
Bam! You knock it out of the park. Quality 4 symbols there. That's amazing.
They can't be higher.
Can't be higher than the quality 1 of the material that you made them out of, yeah. They would have been if you'd had better materials, yeah.
But I got some bits I can use for properties or something if I really wanted to.
Yeah. And that qualifies you into the crafting workshop at the university.
anyone have two coins to spare for Elros?
What are we looking to do?
Once I pass the school, I can help build more better items at the store. I have magic hands.
Trumpy will contribute an additional pocket money to that endeavor. Trumpy's going to finance all these endeavors.
Trumpy is an investor.
But just one this time, because I am going to try and let's get someone else in on this. If they've got any pocket money they're willing to spare.
Yeah, Zara will throw the other pocket money. She flips the coin in the air, you know.
I'm going to make a simple hammer for an anvil with them.
All right, what did you use the pocket money to buy?
Sorry, what was that?
You used the pocket money to get materials, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need two pocket money to get to a success.
All right, so you've got some quality 1, scraps, some wood and a rock, basically. Go ahead and try and craft a hammer.
You said that was cunning plus crafting?
Focus plus crafting.
You just put the 3 rock bits on top, right? And then the 2 wood pieces down, and then that makes a pickaxe, hammer-like thing, right?
Yeah. And I get, was it 4 pips for my hands?
Yes, that's right. What show was it where the character, it was something like they were in the woods and they had like some sticks and rocks and they put them down on a table and then it like the camera is arranged so you can't see them on the table, you just see them like swinging a hammer at it a couple times and then they pick up an AK-47 off the table.
Nice. I was going to say, do you mean like Red Dead Redemption? Because that's kind of what happens in that game where like, oh, you're just gonna animal, they kind of like, you know, they're like, you can sort of do that.
All right, Tice, you've created a quality 1 hammer. You have also qualified. This is Elros, right?
Yes.
All right, test passed. Both Mari and Elros qualify to take classes at the supervised crafting workshop. The workshop does not provide materials at the university, but it is a quality 5 workshop. So once per day, if you have materials, you may attempt to craft something there and use the workshop's quality 5 as a bonus for your crafting attempt. You can also train artistry, crafting, and engineering at the workshop, and you can learn the spell Mend if you are also studying magic. Mend is a first circle spell that repairs small breaks and damages in inorganic materials. Or dead organic materials, such as wood. It does not actually heal wounds, so you can't cast it on a person's injury, but you can cast it on, like, a broken down cart or something. Okay, well, this has been a lot of bookkeeping. Just a couple more quick things. Anre, did Anre choose a Thieves' Den?
Yes, Henri is going with the fox den.
Excellent. And Glup, you're going to need to roll a perception, perception plus investigation to see if you can figure out what's going on with the wolf den and how do you enroll in it.
Only a 1 success.
Someone was spying on you while you were asking around about trying to figure out where to enroll, but you were unable to follow them. You can try again tomorrow, though. All right. Let's see. ATG is just normal stuff. Those of you who are working there can do your thing. And of course, Shari on the boat got to learn stuff too. All right, so moving on then to today, what is the adventure that you guys would like to go on today?
Well, both Whompi and Nest are very, very interested in Trollfriend.
Okay.
For very different reasons. Nest wants to figure out what the fuck was that dream about? Because right now all they have is they have prophetic dreams. So they don't really know what it means or anything. They can't look into it. And Whompi wants to get the rest of Sappers out of that stupid troll's head.
Those are good goals.
Yeah. I know you mentioned you were going to explain what the return of the mining corporation was going to be about.
Oh yeah. So in your various what just happened here? Hold on. There we go. Okay. In your various adventures around the Rights and Properties Guild yesterday, you, in addition to accomplishing the things you accomplished, heard some rumors that the Rights and Properties Guild may be coming back. So you could investigate what's up with that. The mining cooperative is looking to return to the city. That's all you know at the moment. But you did overhear things yesterday that, they have some members here in the city that are advocating to have the guild reinstated, and there's something coming. Some big group of mining cooperative stuff is on its way.
The trip to the
Additionally, tomorrow, Pavin, the goblin, will be visiting. So, characters that want to be there for Pavin's arrival might want to wait till tomorrow to do their adventures. And today, Miss Maybell is going to take the Skull Children to the Campfire Restaurant to meet some skulls that are living here in the city and give them some time to socialize with other skulls. Also try out the food. It's reportedly very good. Miss Maybell is, of course, an adult and does not need a company of adventurous children following her to protect her. But some of you may recall that the restaurant had a symbol on the door that one of you was able to interpret as indicating that the restaurant is currently under the protection of a local thieves guild. Basically, they pay protection money to a local syndicate. Crime may be afoot.
Yeah. We also may be able to increase our scholarship there.
Boo.
Should we just go through and see what everyone wants to vote on, or do you guys want to discuss objectives?
Troll Friend's just so much needed for my characters, and that's kind of just going to be my vote.
Well, just as a reminder, the troll dream was a dream that Nest had, and the Manger future was Zara's dream.
Correct.
I'm gonna go with the troll, just because I'm also interested in just these dreams in general. So, Zara, by the way, is gonna be the one doing mischief today.
Kyle for the restaurant.
All right, here 2 votes for Troll Friend, 1 vote for Restaurant.
Helping my friend become more magical sounds like a cool plan, so I'm down for Troll Friend.
Yeah, I think me as well.
Okay, Troll Friend it is.
I guess you owe me $5, distant.
You mean Pocket Cap?
Oh, Troy's doing his role for Crystal Zara at the Crimson Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, do your.
I'm just
your
doing
roles
them on
are-
the side. I was just doing them. I didn't want to disrupt anything, so I was just going to do rolls into that.
I need to make sure that the record keeping is done too, because. There it is. I have so many tabs open right now.
Yeah, with each of us with 3, it's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a tab on them.
All right, first roll is Vigor plus Labor.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, second roll is Agility plus Athletics. And the third roll is Perception plus Acrobatics.
Yeah, I'm not even going to roll that.
All right, well, you earned a Fitness merit. All right, then, since today's adventure is going to be the researching the troll friend, who is coming along for the adventure? I see a lot of you have chosen it already, so let me just confirm. Oh, Vivian, you're bringing out 2 characters. All right.
I am bringing out 2 characters because they're both so
Exciting.
deeply connected to this one thing now.
Very exciting. All right. So Nest and Whompi. Cool. All right. Troy, it looks like you're bringing out Kofric.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, and let's see. Araxia's, yeah, okay, helping Little Oak Brian. That's kind of obvious. That's expected. Crystals are also helping Little Oak Brian, and Mina is going fishing.
Figured she should go for the last one.
Makes sense. It's what you promised you'd do, and yeah. Which of the captains do you want to sail with?
There's too many things to keep track of. There's the document.
Captain Lowendow teaches the basics of sailing and teamwork. Captain Caterin Ironhook is the harbor patrol master, and so you'd be basically going on patrol around the harbor, enforcing harbor rules. Captain Melasta and First Mate Borkel, with 2 ships, do naval combat drills, and they basically mock naval battles to train. And Harbor Master Radican does not actually go on the water, but handles the harbor tasks from the docks.
I had a quick question regarding chores versus school. So, is it possible or not for Bax to go do her schooling at the Crimson Academy and also participate in the Oak Brine rebuild?
It is not
Can I choose
possible.
it?
There is
So
not
I
enough
have to
time in
choose-
the day.
Okay, I will choose one then. Thank you.
She'll go on Lowendall's, so that she's actually getting like boat-related things. It seems like the rest aren't really.
Yeah, Lowendall's is the one that pushes you towards hardcore parkour. Whereas, yeah, the Harbor Patrol with Katerin, she's doing stuff that's like leadership-based and, yeah, law enforcement-based. Molasta and Borkel are like blatantly teaching combat. That's what they're doing. And then Radican is like he's a customs office thing. He's basically stopping smuggling and that sort of stuff. If you want to learn pure sailing, Lowendal is the guy. Okay. Then Kyleel is the mischief maker for Tice today.
Yeah.
Glub is going to continue looking for the wolves at the Thieves Guild, I take it?
Yeah.
And Elros, which of the university classes will Elros be taking today? Or is Elros going to be taking tests?
Second here. I think he's going to be just I'll think about it in a second.
All right. Zara will be doing mischief today, it looks like. Andre is going to be training with the Fox Den Thieves Guild. And Francis will be helping to rebuild Oakbrine. Trumpy also working on Little Oakbrine. So you got two of the twins there. Or triplets, I mean. Leica's doing mischief. And Bax also helping them. Oakbrine's getting a lot of help. This is excellent. You guys are going to have that built in no time. Which brings us to Ed. Which of your characters will be helping them figure out what's going on with the visions of the troll friend?
I mean, Mari just got into school. Reggie's busy with the business. So I guess Sherry will come along.
Okay.
She was the one that said it wasn't a troll. Oh, actually, Mary was the one that said it was a troll. Sherry will go along.
Yeah, Mari was the one that was insistent it wasn't a troll, and was partially right. It's a piece of Sappers broken off into the troll that's changed its behavior. Which may be magically interesting to Mari, but yeah, it's up to you. Mari also did just get access to very interesting training at the university.
Yes, Sherry will go along.
Okay. Reggie, you said, is going to be working with rights and properties, or is he going to be working with rebuilding Little Oakbrine?
Rebuilding Little Oakbrine.
And Mari?
Mari will be attending class.
Which class?
The crafting class that she just qualified for.
Which I think is 110? Or is it 120? Hold on.
110.
110, yes. Okay, good. A quick question for Reggie. I put Reggie in for the Rights and Properties Guild as registered to work at the Guild Record House based on what Reggie did in the last adventure. Did Reggie also want to sign up for an internship with one of the... it doesn't matter for this session since you're going to be at Oakbrine, but did you want Reggie to sign up for an internship with one of the law firms? Since it doesn't matter, you don't have to make a decision right now if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll leave it alone for right now.
Okay. Well, with Miss Maybell taking the Skull Children out to the restaurant, and everyone else going off to their chores, mostly, it looks like mostly going to help rebuild the Oakbrine community, but a few going off to school. Those of you who have decided you're going to work on this troll friend issue have gathered. Whompi, you have... Miss Maybell has given you the staff. You have Sappers.
Oh, awesome. Do I note that down, or is that just like I'm being load Sappers for the day?
This is more of a story thing. Miss Maybell thinks you're going to take Sappers out to the parks to get in some fresh air.
At the end of the day. Okay. So, Miss Maybell... Whompi's going to, have everybody sit down for a second. Miss Maybell made Whompi promise that when we did anything dangerous, we would get an adult. And Whompi doesn't break promises, so Whompi is going to have to insist that we take an adult to the library with us. If that is where we end up.
I love that you're already planning on this being dangerous.
Whompi has, the staff in one hand, the hammer over their other shoulder, and, kind of just looks like they haven't washed themselves for a few days either.
Well, if we're even thinking of planning of trying to extract the stuff from the troll, we might need to go see our I can't remember what her name is, the herbalist, because we might be able to get some help get some sedatives, or I might be able to get some ingredients to create a heavy sedative to knock out the troll.
Willica is currently at the site of Little Oakbrine construction project, since that's where her new alchemy store is going to be.
So, just a quick clarification, because it's been a while. What was, the contents of Nest's dream? Just that the troll was approaching Celebre?
Yes. You saw the dream from outside the city, a hilltop that you had, the previous day, ridden over in a cart. And you saw, that same hill overlooking the city, coming from the south, where you can see the south gate. You saw it at night with the troll walking over the hill.
All right. And we know that this is a troll who is only good because of Sappers now, right?
Yeah, that's your understanding, is that Sappers is influence in the troll. A piece of Sappers is in the troll, making it not violent.
Alright, so Nest no longer cares about Trollfriend. Okay. Just want to make sure Nest did not want to protect Trollfriend.
We could always make the troll friend into Sappers.
That's a great idea, Whompi's going to say.
Because then Sappers could be able to better communicate with you if they can move around.
That would be an interesting idea. Instead of pulling the broken piece of Sappers out of the troll back into the staff, but push the rest of Sappers out of the staff into the troll.
Whompi is going to meditate as quickly as possible to try and communicate with Sappers and see how Sappers thinks that might go over.
It's hard to say. Go ahead and make a... this is going to be an esoteric check, really.
Yeah. So... I don't have the potential of that. Yeah, I have it listed, but I haven't got 8 points into it. I was 1 short.
Okay, so if you don't actually have the esoteric skill, then basically the result is whatever you want the result to be. It won't necessarily be true, but you're going to feel the echoes of your own thoughts coming back at you and think that they're true.
Right. So Whompi goes is Sappers is all on board with this plan. Sappers thinks this is a great idea. Sappers wants to walk again.
So a sedation plan still probably is a good idea then.
Does anyone in the party have suggestions as to where to begin either researching or accomplishing the objective?
Kyle is, of course, going to go to the construction site to see if he can get some materials or see what the best materials are for a sedation sort of thing.
Okay, so Khalil is going to head off on his own to visit Willica to learn about sedating a troll. That's correct?
Yeah.
Is anyone else going with him?
I think Whompi will.
Okay. Those that are not going with him, what is the plan? To sort of lay out what obstacles are in front of you, if your plan is to try and push Sappers out of the staff into the troll, or vice versa, really, in either case, you need to first know how to do that, and secondly, you'll need to find the troll. And it's not a terrible idea getting that sedation stuff, because who knows what you might have to go through when you do find the troll, but yeah.
Yeah. Whompi, when we go get sedation stuff, Whompi also wants to talk to the sheriff and bring the sheriff along. Okay. Because presumably the sheriff's not doing much that's useful to their skills. They're a manual labor right now.
Currently, yes. Since no one's open for business yet, there's no customers to bounce.
Yeah, I do have a suggestion. If there are pieces of Sappers in the troll, couldn't we use? Wouldn't it have the same sort of energy as Sappers? So we could find someone to be able to detect Sappers. We could use it to detect the troll.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. The other thing we have that Nest is going to suggest is, there's a lot of people at the university who know a lot of stuff. And some might be interested in this.
Understatement of the year.
I mean, Trumpy would be interested in this, and funny enough, Trumpy has a point in survival, so.
Yes, and also a whole section of the school where they identify magical items, so they might be able to detect as well.
Leica might not be the best character for this shit.
You're still at the orphanage. Do you want to swap out to a different character?
Yeah, I think I will do that. I will take Trumpy and swap Leica to doing the O'Brien restoration.
Meanwhile, Jackie goes back to the character selection screen and character morphs into a new one.
Just one little joystick tap. Bink. Bink. New character. Because I have a scholarship of 3 and a survival of 1 and a taming of 1 as Trumpy.
Nice.
Were we thinking of doing some studying to or learn about the troll, or
Both. Some studying, some talking to people who probably know more than us. They are teachers there.
Awesome.
And they probably would be very interested in this. It's not their purvey, necessarily. I imagine none of the kids other than Ness knows what purvey means. But they're probably very interested. I was there for a couple days, and everybody likes magic, and this is magic.
yeah, in that case, Zara's gonna go to the library, and if anyone wants to join.
Presumably, Trumpy already knows their way around.
Nest will go as well with that. But Nest is more focused on finding somebody who knows something.
Nest and Zara are already students at the university and have free access to the library. Additionally, of the characters selected here, Kafrik, Kyleel, and Trumpy can all use their ATG credentials to get into the library as well.
Just for like a call, like, didn't we do troll research way back when, or am I misremembering?
You did some very limited troll research. It was with Willika's library. It pales in comparison to what you have access to now.
Got it. Okay, I'm all for going to the library.
And there's probably a library we could just go to and ask, hey, where's your books on this, this, this? And they'll be able to help.
Just don't let Whompi near the library.
Yeah, well, one of the big differences between the public libraries and the university library is in the public library, you say, where are your books on this, this, this? And they say, on the shelves. But in the university library, there are experts that know where to find things. The only two characters that do not have permission to go to that library are Shari and Whompi. You could maybe finagle something, talk your way in, or have them doing something else.
Well, Whompi's going to the...
Yeah, Whompi's going to see Willika anyway.
Yeah, after seeing what Whompi did with the other library, I think we could just unanimously ban them from the school university library.
Ed, what would you like Shari to be doing for this adventure?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're doing a lot of research right now, so I'm kind of regretting bringing Shari along.
Once again, you can swap. I let Jackie swap. You can swap too if you want.
Okay, I'll bring Mari along. Mari will happily help with the research.
Okay, what's Shari going to be doing then?
Shari is going to go back and help with... she's going to help out with... well, I mean, she's been at the docks a lot, so there's a lot of people out there that are looking for things. So she's going to help out with the building of Little Oak Brine, with respect to finding the kinds of people you need to talk to get raw materials, and the kinds of people you need to talk to that want to buy adventuring stuff.
Cool. Shari's on Little Oak Brine duty. That place is going to get built so fast with all you guys putting your rolls in. Alright, okay, so Mari then. So is everyone except for Whompi and Kyleel, are all of the rest of you going to the university? Because all of you have access at that point.
Yeah, Zara's definitely good.
Cool. Alright then, let's handle Whompi and Kyleel's interaction with Willika first. So you arrive at the the Little Oak Brine construction site, which is really just getting set up. It's in the starting phases. They've erected some basic cranes to help them move stuff around, but mostly they're in the process of clearing things out and planting things. Some stakes have been put in the ground with twine between them, marking the borders of where they intend to build certain structures, but there's still a lot of burnt-out building in the way. Willika is, of course, there, getting stakes in the ground to mark out where she would like the entrance to her potion shop to be, and the distances she would like the entrance to be from the parts that might explode if she mixes things badly. She's also planning to make sure that there's a rear entrance for shipments to arrive that has an easy facing to a sort of back alley road that can get from cold storage areas. a little bit busy and not really having access to her materials. She can't make anything for you at the moment. But, that said, she's still happy to help.
Yes. If she can let me have some access to it and tell me exactly what I think, I can like help figure out myself, because I have shown her my skills in in crafting before. Maybe help me further my learning and in potion making. Like you're, of course, indeed amazing skills you have.
Did anyone take Willica as a mentor? Okay, so go ahead then and just make a quick persuasion roll, difficulty 1, to get her, basically distract her away from the exciting rebuilding for a moment, to have her write down a quick note for you.
To get my brother Jonathan costume would help.
And Whompi, you can contribute to this if you want to.
I actually think I'm more interested in having Whompi talk to the sheriff and getting the sheriff to come along with us.
Okay, cool.
I assume that the sheriff is there, carrying stuff or something.
Exactly. He's just hauling stuff when the carpenter and the smith have basically taken command of this operation, and they are using Rome wasn't built in a day as a talent. So they're doing things slowly and carefully and precisely. Excuse me, there's something beeping in the background.
That's me.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Just a quick question. What are like 3 keywords when you think of Brother Jonathan? I just keep on forgetting exactly what the characters are, and I just need to have like 3 keywords so I can know when they can use their costume.
I mean, it's more than one word, but phase through walls.
Oh,
no, sorry, that wasn't Brother Jonathan. That was somebody else.
Galen.
That was Cap. Brother Jonathan, that would be healing, lying.
Okay.
Not Jonathan anymore. I don't know how you put that in one word, but yeah, that you had it at. Yeah, it's.
I mean,
healing
Brother Jonathan technically died in High Fort.
right, but there's still a Brother Jonathan walking around.
There is.
From the perspective of people that might revere Brother Jonathan as a hero, they're probably revering the Kylil version of him. The possessed.
Yeah,
version.
I mean, he was the head of the Church of, or he was like a senior member of the Church of Kale beforehand. So it's kind of a mixture. It's all like kind of apocryphal now. It's just kind of like he's kind of like a legendary-ish figure amongst the church.
That works as the 3 though, right? Like healing, liar, Kyle.
Holy. Healing, liar, and holy, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of. Yeah, I was thinking if lying would like lying distracting would help with this or not, but I still got the 1 success.
Okay, so you managed to distract Willica enough to... she writes down a formula. It's a formula for a potion that... she says, the way you do this, you mix it and you cork it real fast. When it's exposed to air, it'll become a gas that'll knock a troll right out, but shouldn't hurt anybody else.
So I should write that down. Troll KO gas as a like.
Yeah, it's like a little smoke bomb thing. You throw it at the floor, under the troll's feet. The gas will come up. When it breathes it in, it should knock it out for a little bit. Now, remember, trolls are incredibly regenerative. So you're going to get, like, less than a minute of it being down before it's up again.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Should be enough for any adult that goes with you to kill it. Remember, kill it with fire. They can't get back up from fire.
All right.
All right. The sheriff, on the other hand, goes, wait, the troll... You're going back for the troll? What are you doing? That's a terrible idea. You should not do that.
So, okay. I know it sounds like Whompi knows it sounds like a bad idea. But the troll is coming to Celebre. We don't know why. Nest had like, you know how Nest is like prophecy dreams and stuff. It's weird. Don't ask questions. Miss Maybell says it's true. It's true. But this. So you see the staff I have? It's Miss Maybell's staff.
Yeah, that's Miss Maybell's staff.
Yeah, Miss Maybell gave it to me. So the troll is actually a troll, but a magic piece of the staff with some weird, like, Miss Maybell magic stuff broke off in it. And we need to get that back, or we need to get the staff into the troll. And while we know the troll is coming to Celebre, Whompi doesn't know exactly where. And Whompi needs a skilled, expert tracker like yourself to help us out. And also to, keep the children safe. Miss Maybell did make me promise I would get an adult for this. Whompi would get an adult for this.
Sheriff Sazner. All right. I'm not really of much use here anyway, but I gotta make sure I understand you right. The plan is to kill the troll this time. You're not gonna tie yourself to it, are you?
Whompi looks confused.
Your friend Elros
to a troll.
I'm sorry. Your friend Nest tied themselves to the troll to protect it from me, and I just want to make sure. If I kill the troll, can you get your piece of the staff out of it? He, by the way, from your description, literally thinks a piece of the staff broke off inside the troll. Nothing to do with spirit magic.
Yeah. Whompi looks like... Whompi thinks so.
Alright. Do you know when it's going to get here?
We're doing research right now at the library to get a magic expert maybe to help with all of this, and we want to address this today before it gets any longer.
That is definitely a different answer than 3 days ago, which would be the correct answer.
Whompi doesn't know that.
Well, Nest does. Nest had the vision. Well, I guess Nest doesn't necessarily know chronologically when it would happen. Yeah.
I kind of imagine this as Nest doesn't know if this has happened in like 2 months or like yesterday.
Sure. Yeah. He goes, all right, well, it's probably not going to get past the guards. I mean, this city's really well guarded. But who knows? All right, let's gather up with your friends, see what they've learned, and we'll see if we can make a preparation. See, so Nest can see the future now? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
God damn, this
No
city's
further
weird.
explanation.
All right, so the sheriff is coming along with you under the explicit understanding that he gets to kill the troll this time.
Whompi will say, if the magic people say not to kill the troll, can you wait?
You're going to need to make a persuasion roll on that one.
Alright. Whompi actually is not terrible at this. Is this empathy or cunning, I guess?
Cunning.
It's cunning if you're lying.
It's cunning if you're. I guess if you're. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're lying. It actually seems like
doesn't
you're
seem
being
like I
pretty
am
genuine.
lying.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. It seems like that's genuinely a thing here.
Yeah.
Now, Whompi wants the magic people to say that. Whompi's going to try to influence that. but Whompi won't admit to anybody Whompi's actually scared and wants the sheriff along. I think it's empathy, though.
That makes sense to me. Okay. The sheriff says, all right, you kids are learning magic, something I never learned. So I'm going to have to go along with whatever your magic says. But just to let you know, if I think you're in danger, I may do things you don't want me to do. Now, as long as it looks like you're not in danger, I'll go along with your plan.
Whompi's strong, but Whompi appreciate.
Just remember that whatever happens to you, Miss Maybell will do something worse to me. He does not know that Miss Maybell was faking it. He still thinks Miss Maybell has ridiculous cosmic power.
Whompi did try and make it sound like Miss Maybell is sending Whompi out on this mission.
Yeah. Alrighty. Mission accomplished for that. Let's switch over to the Scholastic crew. So, with either University or Applied Thaumaturgy Guild credentials, you guys all get access to the library. This library is not a boring kill-yourself library. This library is an exciting, interesting, magical library. And so you're not going to be taking damage doing research here. In fact, there are helpers here to help you find stuff that you need. So, what is it that you're looking for? Also,
Are there any librarian?
Yes. There are librarians, and you also have the help of students that have spent some time here. So Mari's here. Kyleel? Yeah? No. Wait. Sorry. Reading this wrong. I have to scroll horizontally on this page. That was maybe not the best decision I've ever made. Oh, yeah. Nest. Yeah, a few of you have been here before and have some expertise already in using the library system. But fundamentally, the library has workers who work here for pay. So, learning about it, you might actually be able to find out how to get jobs here instead of going to school here. But the library workers are experts in helping you find the stuff you want to find. So scholarship tests here are less about finding and more about understanding what it is you find.
So can I make a roll for that with focus and scholarship?
Yes, absolutely. Unique among libraries, you can also make cunning plus scholarship rolls in this library to find stuff.
Alright.
Ancestral memory won't help me here, right?
There's a chance that your ancestors encountered trolls.
How would I apply that to a roll? Hips, right?
Yep.
How many in this case? Q2?
So what is it you're looking for?
I guess in this case, interactions between trolls and druidic magic?
Okay. Tice, I take it you're going to the university's workshop to do that? To make the potion?
I guess so. I don't have any ingredients for it though.
Yeah, and you don't have the recipe yet. You guys haven't met back up.
The what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Your character isn't at the university. Your character is.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So in this case, would I be able to benefit from ancestral memory, and how many Like, is that a quality 2 thing or quality 4 thing in terms of rolling?
Let me look it up. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Ancestral memory. Your limited access to the genetic memory of your ancestors grants you uncanny ability to get yourself out of bad situations. When under disadvantage, you may tax any amount of composure to gain a 1 die bonus per point taxed.
In this case, no.
So no, you're not at a disadvantage. No.
Holy shit!
You do, however, find all kinds of information on magical experiments done on trolls. And so you know that...
Fuck yeah, Trumpy, let's go.
Trumpy's got some good deeds here. So, trolls are sort of like an immune system response that the planet has to magic. When an excessive amount of magical damage, particularly elemental damage, but it could be just about anything, happens, the planet responds by taking whatever local materials exist and forcing an aggressive aliveness into them. They still retain the properties of that original material, but that material is sort of injected by a supernatural energy that is repulsive to elemental and magical effects. This means that standard magic is going to be at a penalty when applying to a troll. There are some exceptions, though. Fire is extremely good at eradicating trolls. The relationship between fire and troll eradication seems to have something to do with trolls having a supernatural regeneration. It's not an organic or biological regeneration. It is magical, and something about fire element or things that fire is doing interrupts that process. There have also been experiments done with various acids that seem to have a similar response. So they seem to be able to interrupt the magic. And this is true even of natural normal fire and natural normal acid. It does not have to be magical fire to interrupt the magical process. And that is fascinating, and you found several dissertations on why that might be the case.
Very cool. I guess nothing in there is going to help us in our specific situation beyond if it goes tits up. So,
I mean, maybe.
We now have pretty comprehensive knowledge of how to take down a troll.
Yeah.
How to get the staff out, I think we need an expert more than a book.
But there are several others of you there doing research at the same time. Is anybody else doing some research?
Nest is actually going to be trying to find either a druid or, somebody who's well-versed in druidic magic, or a student who knows enough about druidism that this would be a once-in-a-lifetime research opportunity.
Okay, make a connections check.
Out for.
That's what connections is for, 100%. Go ahead and make a connections check.
I am glad that I put a renown point into connections right now.
So you don't find the second thing you're looking for, but you do find the first. You find a student that knows a bit about druidic magic that is able to help you for a bit.
Can I talk the student into coming along with us to be a consultant?
Not out of the library. They're not interested in confronting a troll in person. For very good reason. Survival track records are not great.
We have an expert. Oh no, Ines doesn't know that. We have an expert coming along. Alright.
But they'll help you in your research here about druidic stuff. Yeah.
So, what I want to know specifically is how druidic magic could take over a troll and make it non-aggressive, and how to extract that if you needed to.
So the student tells you, as far as I understand it, druidic magic is of a different energy type. This is very new science, and the Delterra has been giving the types numbers, which I'm not sure is necessarily the best way for us to learn about them. But the kind of magic we study here at this university, she calls type 1 magic. This druidic stuff is what she calls type 3 magic. So the cross intersections of them are very few, but one of the main things about type 3 magic is that it's similar to type 2 magic in the direction it comes from, but it isn't being instigated by a person, usually. So druidic magic is like a philosophy kind of magic. And so they get their magic by believing in stuff and somehow using that belief as a tool to make things real. Type 2 magic, of course, is just using the mind directly to impact reality. And type 1 magic is using the mind to inspire elements to enter reality from the other direction. It's very confusing, but I can show you the math.
Nest is very interested in seeing the math.
Cool, he shows you the math.
And it's going to ask if they can take a copy of this with them.
Yes.
All right. I don't exactly know how this might help, but
can't hurt.
At least we have some idea of what's going to go on. If we can, withdraw this, or somehow we can fuck with the magic and things happen. It's kind of where.
If I'm counting right, I think there's 3 other characters here that can do research.
So I think so far it sounds like we've discovered some ways to hurt the troll if we need to. Some ways to maybe subdue the troll, possibly. And I'm thinking it might be a good idea to research the best defensive measures, if we need to defend ourselves from attack or whatever. Learn basically what's the best way to defend against a troll. Maybe either by just researching that specifically, or looking up history on people who've encountered trolls and how they've addressed those encounters. So I think what I'll do is hit up a librarian and kind of share that.
Jackie's roll already hit that out of the park, so no need to make rolls on that. So trolls, while they are magical creatures, do not attack with magic. They attack by punching, hitting, biting, clawing, kicking. All of their attacks are physical, monstrous attacks. They have no outward magical capability whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah, I guess then just we can maybe just assume we'll know how to defend against something like that.
The most
don't get eaten.
Don't get hit.
It's Monster Hunter rules. Don't get hit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and figure out why it's following this.
Okay.
I mean, is it just coming for the staff? Is that obvious, or is...
That seems to be the case. From what you know, a piece of Sappers broke off into it when Miss Maybell was trying to stop some cultists from turning it into a faded troll. Their intention, it looks like, was to unleash it on the village in a faded state to infect the village with fade. She managed to stop it, but in so doing, a piece of Sappers broke off into the troll and has been in there ever since, affecting the troll's behavior. So, yeah, the fact that the troll is coming for Celebre and Sappers is in Celebre, it kind of seems like an obvious thing. How any of that came to be is a very different question.
So, I mean, why is it affecting its behavior?
Right. Like, why is it affecting its behavior is an unanswered question. Was it possible to begin with? What even is Sappers? Those are still unanswered questions.
All right, I'll see what I can figure out.
Okay. Very nice. So the closest research that you can find on this comes from an Anarian researcher that was researching Galamancy and was looking into options to put souls into golems, essentially. Unfortunately, the author is deceased. You find records that they were killed by snipers from the Mage Registry. But a lot of their core research has been copied from the Anarian library and made available here with the recent treaties between Celebre and Anar. It looks like Sappers was created in an accident, and the researcher that became Sappers was themselves studying taking souls out of bodies and putting them in other bodies. That was a thing they were learning how to do.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah. Now there.
Nothing ever goes wrong with that.
Yeah. Historically, the record shows that Pelladia took offense to that, and the official record is that she punished him by putting his spirit into that of a sapling nearby. How she accomplished that with druidic magic is an unanswered question, particularly because that is exactly the thing that researcher was studying at the time. So whatever pushed the researcher's soul into the sapling to begin with might also be capable of pushing it into the troll. Is Kofrik here as well?
Yeah, I'm at the library. I'm just not sure I can. I've been trying to think of something else to look up, but we definitely narrowed down everything.
The university has more than books. There's an array of faculty available as well that you could try to talk to or convince to help you. Just as Vivian got one of the students to give some instructional information.
We also still need the detection ability to detect where the patrol is with using Sappers as part of it.
And I'm going to argue that Trompy has not yet taken their turn, since the information you asked about, Kristen, was basically already answered by Jackie's roll.
Me? I can roll again? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, not Trompy. Zara.
Zach. Yeah, I'm happy to join forces to try and figure out the detection mechanism.
That seems fair. Group effort on hunting down someone to help us link them together, essentially. Find like energies. When we have one.
All right. If you're looking for a person, that would be a connections roll.
I guess we're looking for a person to help us find a book. Unless we think a person would have that information. Which I guess, yeah. So I guess we could just start with the person.
Well, if you're looking for a librarian, they're everywhere. There's no need to roll for that. You can just make a scholarship roll to look for content on, location spells or anything else that you want to.
Got it. Yeah, I have a pretty good scholarship and a 1 for connections. So I don't know how you wanted to handle that, Troy.
I'm not scholarly, and I don't have connections. But I also wonder if we learn how to essentially do the magic for tracking. Can we do the magic?
Yes. So the library library spells learned through the esoteric education talent are by passing a focus plus scholarship test against twice the rank of the spell being learned after spending a number of days studying equal to the rank. So a first circle spell would be something you could learn today.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any mages with us?
Zara is a mate.
Well, there you go.
I assume I have to pass the test, right?
Yes. So it's focus plus scholarship. You're trying to learn a first circle spell. We need to describe what the spell is that you're trying to learn here. So you're trying to learn a spell that will locate something. What is going to be the basis upon which the spell identifies what it is you're trying to locate?
So I think I like where Kite was going with this, the like for like sort of thing. So we have the stat. So basically, if there is a certain magic presence, locating another like magic.
Okay.
Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, it's a piece of it, right? So we have basically the majority. We're looking for anything that matches.
All right. So I would call the spell Bloodhound because you give it something to sniff, and then the spell goes and finds something else that's like it, right?
Fantastic.
Love it.
All right, yeah. So you need 2 successes on a focus plus scholarship roll, and then you can add the first circle spell Bloodhound to your spell book. Do you have pages left in your spell book to fit it?
I believe so. Actually, how do I determine that?
What is the quality of your spell book?
I don't think I have that noted. Interesting. Let me.
It's your flute, isn't it? Because you're a sonomaster.
That was.
There's so many characters.
I know there's 18 freaking characters, man.
There's so many. We've done this before, but this is so much.
We're all being tested to our limits here. It's all good. We're growing as role players.
We need an efficient database lookup is the worst part.
Just a second. Okay. So there is a good chance okay. Thank God I took notes. Okay. I didn't put it in my character sheet, but I had it in my notes. I do have space. So I have a Q2 spell book, and it only has one rank 1 spell in it currently.
Okay. So spellbook can have as many ranks as twice its quality, meaning you could have up to 4 ranks worth of spells in it. So if you only have a single first circle spell, you've got space for 3 more. I'm gonna load up your character sheet here and take a look at this.
Got it. Okay, so I am just now. I know what I'm going to roll, but I'm just going to see if I can add any pips to it. Does the spell book or anything else modify a roll like this?
Just a moment. Typically, the quality of the laboratory you're researching the spell in would modify it. In this case, you're in a public library, so it's not really a private space for research. So I'm going to say that the library is not going to give you any pips.
They don't have like reading rooms,
No.
like private reading. I feel like they would exist.
Maybe,
Bar's
but
pretty
those
small.
are not
She could just
exactly
go under a
laboratories.
table.
Like there may be some private reading rooms, but they're not really laboratories. Laboratories have things like clean spaces where magic won't interfere with things. The elements are constantly flowing into the world, creating reality, and that can be disruptive to experimentation.
All right. Well, I'll just take my chances then. I don't think that I have anything that can modify it.
You got it. You only need 2 successes, you got 3. So there you go. You have learned Bloodhound. You've invented Bloodhound, actually, so you can put your character's name on it.
All right. Zara's Bloodhound. Level 1.
All right. And now that you know it, you can cast it, but you'll have to... Yeah. We'll come to that roll in a bit. Does... Oh, shoot. I just closed your character. I should have kept it open so I could look at the stuff. Okay, esoteric education. That's... Alright, cool. I was checking to see if you had any of the, like, esoteric memorization stuff. Because, with esoteric memorization, you can prepare a spell, and then you don't have to roll to cast it. It's guaranteed to succeed. But that will come in time. For now, you have the spell in your spellbook, and you have the talent needed to cast it. So it looks like you have succeeded in the finding it part. Troy, you weren't really necessarily involved in that one. Is there something else you'd like your character to look into?
No, I was useless. Which I'm happy to be useless when there's something useful.
Well, I wouldn't have ever done that if you didn't mention your plan earlier, so...
What you did was you like stood over Zara's shoulder. It's like, yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I think I did that for everybody. Just bit by bit.
You're taking a leadership role. But if you do want to do something, you have an opportunity to do it before we move on.
Right, so to surmise again so far, we basically have troll deterrent, we have finding now, troll defeating, I don't know what the extermination, whatever.
And you have a lead on how spirits get pushed from one person to another. That lead, unfortunately, is Einar.
I don't know how useful this is, but I was wondering about troll containment.
Einar's not necessarily a dead end, Tice. Sorry, what was your question, Kristen?
I was just trying to think of another angle to research and potentially troll containment. Like if for some reason we wanted to figure out like how can you actually contain them so that I don't know if we wanted to contain them for whatever reason.
Is that something you'd like to look into?
What's a troll shiny? Wait, we have like I guess we only have like quick subdue. But I think one of the more promising things was, like, how do we? Sorry, I'm reading his dice types. So we didn't get an answer on. We got almost an answer on how to move from one thing to the other, right? Like, we just don't know how.
I mean, Mari crushed that roll, and so yeah, you don't know. Well, you don't know how. You know exactly where to go to find out how. The Golemancers of Einar had like a legendary badass that had figured out how to create sentient golems by pushing some kind of spirit energy around. And that's definitely the route to take, because that person was using research from the person that became Sappers. So wherever their notes are, those notes would be comprehensive about this process.
Got it. We have no way of getting those.
I mean, Einar on a map is pretty far away, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's impossible. Einar does have a relationship with this university. I'm not going to say it can't be done. I'm just not going to tell you exactly how, unless you figure it out yourself.
In the mind of a child, they have no idea what to do. And they can make connections, but like...
I'm sorry, was that too unsubtle? He wrote it. He wrote it.
Well, I don't know how publicly knowledge the gates are.
So the Celebran Gate is actually in the palace behind Violethan's throne.
You can't. Einar doesn't. I mean, you can't get to Einar through the gate unless you're invited.
Yeah.
Even though they don't really use the gate.
Einar has a gate as well, but yeah. Einar's currently in the process of smearing wolf paste on the gate, I think. Actually, I think we're in the post-wolf paste research section of Einar.
I think you mentioned before that there might be people that are from Einar that might have connections that might know where to find the information.
Einar has been assisting with the rebuilding of the university because it's kind of their fault that the old university is missing.
Yeah, so they might have brought over information that, like.
And the whole reason that the documents were in this library for Amari to follow is because they've been making copies of stuff.
Potentially there's copies somewhere in here, but like, of course, the main ones where they wouldn't just leave them in the public library, would have to go into one of the private libraries to find that. So it might have to do a trip of breaking into the Einar area and borrowing their notes about this.
So we've gone from research to break into a diplomat's home in their embassy and steal their books.
Yeah, who doesn't want to start a diplomatic incident?
It's your call, Troy. What do you want to do?
I don't think I can do most of what's being talked about. To be fair, I think that like there's no more research I can do. There's more. So obviously things somewhat unattainable.
You can make a connections check and use
Yeah,
that to
so-
try and-
That's what I was about to say. I think the only thing I can do is make a connections check and see if there's anybody available that can actually get that information.
Okay.
And I don't have a lot to do with that, but we'll try. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't find anybody.
The information you find is not particularly useful. It's like there are definitely people from Aenar around. There's people that interface with what's going on with the Apthian War by using the moon gates, but none of them are in any way helpful. Let's see.
Do you have anything to palm their hands with? Grease their palms with?
That would be of value to an Aria.
That's true. There are talents that can modify connection checks. Or, you know what? I'll let you succeed if you can take a tax to reasonably narrate what you've damaged yourself over to get this information. Tripped on some stairs and hurt yourself. If you'll take 3 tacks in some way that you can narratively describe in an interesting way, then I will have that lead to you finding something. A person of note. Yes, no.
I mean, I can take tax. I'm just trying to think of an interesting way.
You bump into them by chance, but you fall down some stairs. It'd be nice if the damage you take is not fatal, obviously.
Yeah, what's non-fatal damage? A stair fall in this area seems horrendous. But
Not if the person that you need happens to be the one who catches you.
or the one who caused me the fall. I mean, that's fair. If I was asking a bunch of people walking around and talking and then trying to ask the next person and they weren't paying attention and reading a book, and then just walked into me and instead of answering my question, and I fell down a set of stairs.
Okay.
And I'm taking 3 attacks.
Take 3 attacks to your health. You bump into a little halfling in red and purple garb. Mara, you recognize this is actually your private tutor. And they're apologizing, like, are you okay? They're not all that much bigger than you are, but they're an adult and trying to get you up and like, oh crap, child got hurt. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in such a rush. I need to get back to the moon right away. Oh, hi, Mari.
Hello. Just you just barding around, doing your bard magic-y things.
Oh, there's so much going on right now with the war and everything. Nothing you kids need to worry about, I'm sure. But yeah, I got a call. There's a meeting back on the moon. And if I'm not there to keep things organized, it's all going to fall apart. The druids up there are just crazy, and the politicians are worse somehow. It's a madhouse. And worst of all, Delterra is off on some adventure in the Troll Mountains, so I'm not even getting my apple cider that she used to bring me every morning. We grow the apples on the moon, you know. The druids keep a wonderful orchard there.
I mean, as a person, I feel like I have ancestral memory right now because the mention of moon apples makes me shiver to my core. I'm just like, ugh, that was a bad time. Didn't even happen to me; it happened to Chops.
Yep. Or, yeah, okay, yeah, that happened to Chops prior to now, yeah. So thinking in timelines, but yes, that you're right. That had happened in the past. The other group hasn't gone through the moon quite yet. But yeah, right now at this point, Randy Gearhands is running security on the moon. The apple infection has been cleaned up. And, yeah. And diplomats are still using the moon as a communications shortcut to bring messages back and forth between the various governments that are coordinating in their efforts to prepare for Apthian invasion. Havling says, you know, ever since the little moon fell, everybody else up there has been just... It's not the same. There was a balance that was being held together, and it's coming apart. It's very stressful. All the druids that were... Because each of the moons had their own druid sect that was an adherent to the moon's philosophies, and the moon of Somnus, when it fell, those druids, I guess, came down with it, and are now here on the planet. They're not up there, and yeah, it's funny. I always thought that like they were one side of a spectrum that was at war, and it was the ones in the middle keeping balance, but in their absence, the other two druid factions up there are now at each other's throats. It's just very bad. Well, anyway, let's get you to some medical care, and then I gotta get to the moon. No one wants to make use of this opportunity? Troy fell down the stairs for this.
I'm sure there's medical care on the moon.
Oh yeah, I guess the druids up there could probably cast a healing spell on you. Do you want to just come with me?
Yeah, that seems fine.
All right, you kids wait here. I'll have your friend back in a moment. So he takes you over to like a sort of a private corner where a wolf is sleeping, and just like behind a pillar. The wolf gets up. He hands the wolf a cookie. The wolf howls, and a portal opens on a wall. And he carries you through the portal. The wolf comes with him. So you guys are on the moon now.
Halfway there.
He brought us all that.
No, just the injured child. He takes you to a druid of the moon Loon, which is not the moon you're on. You're on Inui, but the Loon druid it has some healing magic that they're using to patch up your injury. It's still going to leave a bit of an ache and a scar, so they're not taking away your tax. They're just maybe moving that tax to your stamina for you. And yeah, you're face to face with a real, actual magic wielding druid. Ask your questions. For reference, the information that you might be looking for would relate to how Pelladia managed to take the spirit of an elf mage and put it into a staff.
Yeah, I was looking for the right words. Yeah, I would ask if there's a way to move a person's soul, spirit, whatever, into an object.
All right. So the druid tells you, don't worry, I'm not putting your spirit anywhere. Just patching you up. I've heard of people doing things like that. It's not really good magic. Do you want to specifically mention Pelladia?
Yeah.
All right, the druid says, oh, her. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't think that went down the way the stories tell. Pelladia wasn't actually all that good at magic. I mean, I know that's a terrible thing to say, but that was the truth. They never trained her for magic. They trained her to be the Moon King's consort. And I don't think the Moon King understands what that means, being some kind of alien creature. So when she just ran off, of course, she still had what little magic she was taught, but it wasn't super powerful stuff. I don't think she's the one that actually pushed that spirit into that staff. I think either he put himself in that staff, or maybe she was trying to do something with magic and the magic went wrong. She does channel magic from the Moon King, and his magic is not something I would ever want to touch. It will do unexpected things. Parts of it will stick around and attach to you. It's, yeah, not great stuff.
Do you know how he would have done it himself?
His magic comes from outside our reality. I would not even want to know how he did it. That knowledge might damage my mind. Like I realize I'm living under his roof, so to speak. breathing air that he magically conjures into reality. But I do that for the sake of Loon, of being here in the sky with, as close to my moon as I can. And it's been a worthwhile experience for me. But, there are lines I won't cross and risks I won't take. And dealing in Inuit magic is not something I'm into. Pelladia used it, though. So who knows what she may have caused. Alright, you're all patched up. Should be good to go. So he looks at the boss like, you got the right kind of cookie? He fumbles around in his pockets like, I think this one? He sniffs it, takes a little bite of it. It's like, ooh, yeah, this is the one. And he feeds it to the wolf. The wolf howls, and a portal opens back to the university for you. And you're back. Primary things of note is that you've learned that either this was magic from a far realm monster called the Moon King, or it's something that the mage did to himself with magic that he had learned, and not something Pelladia did. If it's something he did to himself, then he still has the ability to do it from within the staff. If it was something done by far realm magic, then that far realm magic has stuck to him somehow, and was the instigator in breaking off a piece of him into the troll.
And either way, it's still sticky, so it might still be there.
Yes.
So no matter what, I'll take that information back.
One of those scenarios may be far more dangerous than the other. It is not entirely clear which one.
You said dangerous. It sounded like fun.
Yep.
But I'll relay that information back to everybody that it's one of the two, but they both seem like it means we can connect them in some way, whether it's in either direction.
All right. So everybody gathers back together out on the street. So you can share the information that you've got. The sheriff is now with you, and you also have the formula for the potion that will temporarily knock the troll unconscious.
Yeah, I just need to retrieve ingredients for it.
So we've been going for about 2.5 hours. We can call this to a close and pick up tomorrow with the same group and still just hand out experience and stuff as we do, and call it like this adventure is carrying on into the next day if you want.
Yeah, this is like a part one. Because this is actually, I mean, when you think about
This has gotten a lot more complicated.
What this adventure entails, in order for it to not be an utter shit show, is preparation.
All right. So we're going to say that was your day of preparation there, but you've gotten good things done.
Yeah.
Can we maybe push Pavin's visit another day? Just retcon that so it doesn't run over.
You could, or you could let Pavin's visit happen and maybe see if you can find some advantage there. For example, you have a formula for a potion you want to make, and Pavin is an expert alchemist.
That is true.
Yeah. I was just wondering if we could just quickly, since someone knows Delterra's tooltip spell, if we get them to cast it on the staff before we finish, because that spell helps to tell what kind of magics are on a item, right?
Yes.
Because it would, if there was foreign magic on it, then it would be immediately pop up.
Yeah, it'll tell you the type number of what kind of magic it's looking at.
Or do you want that for tomorrow?
Well, it's something you'd need to do. So somebody would need to actually cast the spell.
We also kind of already know kind of what magic it is in some way.
So what Troy found out in his little moon adventure is that it could be type 1 magic, or it could be type question marks magic. Type question marks magic is kind of dangerous. Type 1 magic means that it's not even a druid magic. It's an arcane spell that the mage cast on himself.
Can Nest go in and get the student that was there and see if they have it?
Yes. Yeah, you succeed in that roll. So yes, that student will come out and will cast the spell. And they look at you and they say, it just says question marks.
Oh, that's not good.
Dun, dun, dun!
Or it's
Oh,
great.
that's the cliffhanger we're leaving it on.
Alrighty, and as we've been doing, we're not going to do any kind of closing ceremony except for just general discussion. We'll handle experience points at the start of next session. So, yeah, good job. Did you guys want to discuss anything about the way things are going? Any adjustments we want to make to... Because we got a lot of characters, so it's not just this party. Is there anything else going on you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, do we do?
The only thing I want to say is that it feels like we should find a way to speed up the paperwork at the beginning, because that took a really long time.
Yeah, I introduced a bunch of stuff. It would be very helpful if you guys, like, those of you who were able to fill out your forms for me, that was great. Thank you for that. Yeah.
When you say forms, what do you mean?
So in the
Like the activity log?
activity log, putting in like what you're doing for the day, for me is really helpful. Because then I can just scroll through and look at it instead of asking you. And, yeah. And
I also
we'll,
had a question regarding the community rebuild. When do we roll for that? Is that at the start of next session? Or...
Yeah, we're going to do all that stuff at the start of sessions now instead of at the end. So that peoples who have work in the mornings and need to get sleep can do so.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think some things will get faster, right? Like it was my comment to the Crimson Academy thing. Like, we didn't know what to do, but now that we know, like, stuff like that, you can just kind of roll it at the beginning,
Yeah, but
and you don't need to go
just
through bit by
a lot of rolls is the thing. Like, all of these rolls that we have to do for this one, like, obviously it's a very simple resolve, success at one, you know. But it's still just a lot of rolls that we were doing at the beginning of session that took a very long time, and I think really cut into what we actually were able to accomplish.
Yeah, maybe we could do it asynchronously, like homework.
Okay.
Spend
I
your
mean,
time
there's just
async-
a lot of bookkeeping. It's just kind of
So like, the more of that we could shift to, I think, simultaneous, essentially, which requires taking some pressure off Dave, because Dave is one person.
Yeah, so does everyone understand what their schools do? Like, what the roles are for? Is there anything I need to explain about that? I wrote it all down. It's all in the documents, but if it's not clear, let me know, because I can explain it.
I think applied thaumaturgy is the only one that's a little confusing from the description.
Okay, let's open that up then and take a look.
But I've seen so
By the
far.
way, from a document perspective, I know that I was getting a little out of hand with a lot of different docs, so I tested out a different format in OneDoc. I don't know if it's going to be better, but Google Docs has like a sidebar outline with like links, so it's kind of like a wiki. Maybe easier for people, and then you can just like Control F if you're looking for something.
My hope is that no one should need, because all of you only have 3 characters. I'm the only one that should have like 18 documents open. I think all of you guys can get away with just 3, I think. But that That way you don't have extraneous information. Like, if you don't have someone in the fishing guild, you don't need the fishing guild document open. But here, okay, so apply thaumaturgy guild, right. Okay, so it has 6 departments that you can basically intern at any given time, and you can switch between them whenever you want, unless you're working for money. If you're working for money, you don't get to pick which one. They'll assign you to one. Now, you can still spend your experience points, whatever one they assign, but I'm basically going to roll a d6, and it's going to tell me which one they assign you to if you're just working there for the money. If you're there to learn and earn experience points, you can choose whichever one you want.
Oh, I think what threw me off is that it said on-the-job learning for the payment one. So it's like you wouldn't be able to learn unless you were doing a paid position.
I will say I much prefer Kristen's format to the what we currently have for finding stuff that I need.
I get that the outline approach makes sense, because if we're gonna open
I had 14
3.
tabs open.
I have 5.
I've just closed out several of them, but I had 14 tabs open at one point.
Well, if you don't count your characters and your own stuff, just the doc notes you have open, most likely you have
I think that would have
the
been
sheets and the adventure.
5 or 6 maybe that were just that. Because there's like if we take out my character sheets and the activity log, which I accept are just always going to remain open, it was the adventures. Like, maybe I could have closed that, but then that's managing my tabs while I'm playing. So what ends up happening is I just keep opening tabs, and I don't close them until the end of the night when I go over everything. So having one document that just has everything that I could just click through with the sidebar is much preferred for me, at least.
Yeah, I can see it from both directions. Like, it would be nice to have one document, but I also kind of see Dave's point that we should never have more than 3 of the informational docs open, because you can't have more than 3 for yourself.
Yeah, I did it that way for you guys. It is actually better for me to have it all one document, but I split it because there was going to be a lot of information that you wouldn't care about within the document. So, but we can do it either way.
We could also add this document. There's no reason to have the Oakbride Village stuff still on here, because the village is not something we have access to right now.
Right, and the village is it's a separate document, so
Yeah.
you don't have to open that document.
Yeah, I don't care either way. I just thought I'd prototype it out and see if anyone likes it.
What you've done is you've taken all our documents, put it to one.
If
right?
you can
And we're
find a way that makes it usable for you as a player, then that's excellent, because it's going to be more usable to me to be all one document. So, yeah. Try it out, see if you like it, and if you do, then I definitely would love to switch to that.
I will say we now have lost a single source of truth, and so if we update any of the single documents or vice versa, we will end up out of.
Well, yeah, I mean, try it out to see if it's useful to you, but yeah, definitely. I'm right now I'm updating the documents as they currently are for things. I haven't needed to update much. I mean, I updated the Crimson Academy to have the merit tallies on them. And I updated who's unlocked what. So who's passed their exams and things.
By the way, I literally made this during session, so it's updated as of 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. It's got everything then.
I just wanted to. I'm probably going to go to bed soon, but I was going to say, regarding session tonight, I thought it was kind of hilarious that at a certain point, you were like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. After, we finished everything in the library, and then your character ends up on the fucking moon, which I thought was pretty.
That does sound like the result of, I'm not sure what's going to happen right now. Those people do end up on the moon.
Yay for my guessing.
You also made slightly more stressful the most stressed out halfling bard in the entirety of Talus.
That poor guy.
This poor guy. He had a chance encounter in a bar once, and his life has been nothing but like world-ending stress ever since.
Yeah, he technically saved the world. Well, he did save the world.
He certainly saved. He's prevented a lot of very disastrous outcomes. Just by choosing the right words at the right moment. But yeah, he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because I can already hear like some of the Moon King peaks. It's like, well, that Shafeta stuff is like being really big problematic there. What's if I just like make it not exist anymore or something?
Oh no, Inui, like without prompting, Inui would have been like, yeah, okay, Shafetus can take over the world, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Right? Like, but also without prompting, Inui would be like, yeah, sure, like a moon can crash on the planet and wipe out all life. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. But as soon as something matters to Inui, Inui is very likely to accidentally do something horrific. Like pull a dwarf apart into pieces to see how it works, right? As Chops found out. So, yeah.
Yeah. And for finding the den, is it possible to use crime instead of investigation?
Alright, yeah. You could try using crime. You'd have to narrate what crime you're committing to try and do it. I would be very interested to see how you narrate attempting to find the wolf.
Yeah, because I also got I was thinking of like using climbing and stuff. I can go into a lot of places that are a lot inaccessible for people normally.
They're not trying to be unfindable, but they do want it to be a challenge. Right? They put their name on the list, so like they are looking for recruits, but by hiding their actual recruitment office, they've made it a challenge, so they're only getting the best recruits.
Yeah, I'll think about it before the next session.
Okay. So, let's see. For Bax and Crystalzar, are you guys... Do you understand the Crimson Academy enough that I don't need to do the record keeping for you anymore?
I should be good. Basically, I'm assuming if I keep at it, I'll be rolling to see if I get merits, and then I can spend those merits a subsequent or a later time.
Yeah. Is it clear in the documents, like, how you spend the merits to advance?
I'm assuming I spend a fitness merit to get other merits by spending it. Say I want to do sword training and say I have a fitness merit, I can turn it in for some shit, right?
Do you have the document open right now? I can show you.
Also say this would be a great thing to like note in the notes section for your character. Gee.
I have it open. Open.
Okay, so see up here how we've got the merit tallies for what we've earned so far, right? But then for every drill that's available to you, for you to do for the day, and the fitness one is kind of the exception. Anybody can do it, and you can make the 3 different rolls to get up to 3 different merits. When you do a drill, you can train, so you can spend experience in the skills and talents that drill has. And then you get the merit test. Every other drill other than the fitness one has a cost. You have to spend a merit to take the drill. Right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I spend my fitness merits to do basic sword drills, basic shield drills, and so on.
Right, and when you're doing a basic swords drill, then instead of training in acrobatics, athletics, and that stuff, your training would be melee. So you could level up your melee that day. You could spend experience points in your melee that day. Or you can even get the talent sword proficiency. But when you're done for the day, you still get to take a merit test, which is you roll your either vigor or agility plus melee with a sword, so you can get pips if you've got a nice sword. And if you beat a difficulty 3, then you get a sword merit instead of a fitness merit. And that's why we have the different merits up there for the different things.
Yeah.
If you look up, so if we go past the basic stuff to the standard stuff costs a sword merit. So we're advancing. But the standard sword drills, you can take, just like with the obstacle course, there's multiple tests. Standard sword drills have multiple tests as well. And they reward more sword merits. So you can potentially multiply your sword merits by succeeding, but it's a harder test.
For sure.
It's difficulty 5 tests. And then you've got the expert sword stuff. Now, the expert sword stuff does not reward sword merits. It rewards mastery merits. And the mastery merits are sort of the goal of the whole escalation. Is you can spend mastery merits on private training with a sword master or a shield master or a strategist master. There's different masters, which have the best of the best talents available to teach you. Or there's a shop, and you can spend your mastery merits on actual stuff, including Crimson Guard, weaponry, and a junior deputy badge that gives you some degree of authority around town.
Nice.
I designed the escalation so that there is a purpose to everything, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was sort of readable and understandable to you so that you can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's a very cool progression system. It's nice. And it makes sense. All of the...
Cool. Yeah, it's a little more complicated than the university, which is just pass the test, unlock the class.
And then for the Thieves Guild, I did have a question. It mentions spending 50-50 time between accounting office and your den. Does that mean across sessions, we have to, each session we have to pick one or the other?
Nope, that means within a session you have access to both.
Okay.
So at any given day, you can learn anything available from the accounting office or your Thieves' Den, whichever you'd like. Or both, if you want to learn a little bit from both.
Got it. And then, but there is a roll check, but that's to determine how much we might get paid.
If instead of if instead of earning your experience point, you want to earn some money, then you can make the roll to see how much you get paid. That's right.
Oh, it's actually an either or.
Right. All of the others, it's either you earn 1 coin or you earn 1 experience point. The Thieves Guild is the only one where you have to actually make a roll, but it's also the only one where you might earn 2 coins.
Got it. That makes sense.
And then the, I guess this only applies to Ed, but the Rights and Properties Guild, when you work for money instead of for learning, you can pick a law firm that you want to try to recruit you, and basically make a roll to see if you've done a job that's good enough that their recruiters want to poach you over to their firm from whatever firm you're working at. That's if you want to change firms to start learning skills and traits and talents from the other ones. Right now I've only got 3 firms put together. I have a couple more ideas for law firms. One that's focused on business law, one that's focused on criminal law. That's right. Right now, what we've got is we've got rich people law, medical malpractice, and pro bono community work are the 3 law firms I have put together so far. Is there a style of law firm Reggie would be more interested in that I should think about getting on there?
I mean, he's kind of interested in whatever. I mean, he's like property law would probably be interesting.
Okay.
So.
All right, I'll do a property law one too then. That's good.
Well, y'all have a good night.
Good night. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now and get some caffeine in me because I am just feeling a little down at the moment. We'll start this up next time.